welcome back to Burning River Bushcraft. Today we're going to be cutting flat slingshot bands out of bulk latex. So lately I've had a preference for flat bands on slingshots. They seem to shoot a little bit better, they shoot faster and more accurate, and for the velocity you're getting, the hold is quite a bit less, and that lets you focus on shooting instead of holding back a heavy poundage. So one of the key drawbacks to flat bands is the durability. It's thinner, it's quite a bit easier to catch it and tear it, and a small tear equals a big problem really fast with these flat bands. So because the flat bands have a shorter band life, it makes a lot more sense to learn to cut your own. You can buy these bands in bulk, save yourself quite a bit of money, and then you actually get to customize the bands to your shooting style and your ammo. So a prime way to get flat slingshot band material is going to be exercise bands. They come in different thicknesses, which equals different resistance weights, either for you working out or for the slingshots themselves. So you're going to get these things in maybe 6-foot lengths, I believe they are, and I think they're about 6 inches wide. They are different colors. This, I believe, is a TheraBand. TheraBand Gold seems to be the gold standard for slingshot bands. I've bought maybe 10 foot of it in the past, used it up. It's pretty good stuff. This is just something I had laying around. This is quite a bit weaker, so this has less of an elongation factor. So when you stretch it out, it doesn't have as strong a tendency to close back. So I just kind of use this for lightweight ammo. This would work good for like BBs. Also works great for kids. But you can find these like at a Walmart or a Dunham's or a Dick's or something like that, where most exercise stuff is sold. So what I've got here is 2 examples of what you're looking for. This is TheraBand Gold. This, I believe, came originally maybe a 6-foot exercise piece, and I've just kind of been whittling away at it over time. But this has a great elongation factor. It lasts a long time. You get great speed with the projectile, and it also works well in double configurations. So if you're not happy with the strength of the pull, you can make the band wider, and you also have the ability to shoot double bands. So this is black latex from Simple Shot Shooting Sports. This is a very inexpensive alternative to the TheraBand Gold. The performance seems to be right with it so far. This is what the factory band sets are when you buy a Simple Shot slingshot. So the process of cutting these bands is actually pretty simple, but it requires specialty tools that you have to do this. So this is a rotary cutter. I've tried using knives, I've tried using razor blades, I've tried using scissors, I tried everything to stop from buying one of these, and nothing works. What you do is you get continuous tears along the edge. This is gives a very professional job. It makes a nice clean cut. Usually when you buy one of these, you're going to get a self-healing mat. So the blades on these are replaceable. But without this self-healing mat, the blades aren't going to last that long. So it usually comes as a package. Do yourself a favor and get a large craft size mat. Usually it comes with a straight edge too. Mine did anyway. And I've already used this for more than just the latex bands. It's a pretty handy thing to have. So one of the great things about cutting your band sets, like I mentioned earlier, is this allows you to fine-tune the bands to your ammo size. So this would be similar to a bow to change the poundage to meet the spine of the arrow shaft. A couple different sizes I've been experimenting with. This is 7/8. This is 3/4. It is a noticeable difference. I've gone down to 5/8. It's an economy versus performance thing, basically, is what it is. So I've kind of settled into the 7/8 as my standard band set. And 10 inches is what the factory Simple Shot Shooting Sports bands are. And I tried to cheat that number down, and you're not gaining anything. So I cut them all at 10. Working distance for me is about a 6.5, but by the time I fold it into the pouch and tie it on to the frame of the slingshot, I'm usually only losing, you know, 1/2 inch to an inch. So it's best to not cheat it and just go ahead and cut these at 10 inches. So I'm going to cut this TheraBand first. This is like a 6-foot piece. This is going to be standard length for most of the exercise bands that you're going to get. You can buy this stuff in bulk, but it's all going to be the same. You're going to have to cut this to length first. So I am going ahead and get everything lined up and cut it off at 10 inches. So I've got everything lined up on my bottom mark. I'm lined up at 1 inch. I'm going to go ahead and take my straight edge and line that up at 10 inches and make a real quick cut. And here's a 10-inch working length band. So now with this straight edge I can actually see right through it. So I can line 7/8 up on both sides, and now I'm just going to run the rotary cutter get everything lined up again. And here's a matched set of bands ready to have a pouch tied on it. So there's plenty of options you can do with this. I could make tapered bands, which would shoot a little faster, but I really don't screw around with that. But a great option, especially for hunting with flat bands, is double bands. So in this case, I traditionally shoot a 7/8 band, so I'm going to double this over when it's done, so I'm going to cut it at 1 3/4 inches. So in this case, I'm actually using this yellow line on my blue mat, and I went over 1 3/4 inches. And I'm going to make a cut, and there's one. Line everything up with the yellow, and I'm going to go 1 3/4 inches again. Now when I fold these over, that gives me a double band. Now you can do the same with singles. You can just button them up and tie them like this. I've done it both ways. It really doesn't make a difference to me. If I'm cutting bulks, usually I'll just cut my singles, but this is another option for you. So breaking bands is just a fact of shooting that shows that you're out there using your equipment and getting better. So get the proper equipment, get yourself some bulk latex, and try cutting your own bands. We'll tie these up in another video, but for right now, this has been Jamie Boggs with Burning River Bushcraft. See you next time.